Afternoon everyone. So it's a lovely day. It's Tuesday afternoon. I've managed to get off work a little bit early today, so I'm back down this little club lake, and we'll see what we can do. I did fish this place for the first time a couple of weeks ago. It was freezing. I've never fished here before. It is a tricky little lake. I'm not that hopeful for this afternoon, but right, rods are out. For all those tarts out there who are going to look at my pod, you're probably going to laugh at me, but the bank's on such a slope, I don't know what else to do there, to be fair. But I've got one little chod rig out, one adjustable zig rig out, and a couple of particles on a margin rod soaked in sriracha sauce, which sounds delicious. So let's see how we go. Not another soul on the lake, which I can't believe, to be quite honest with you. It's such a nice day, and it is, as you can see, I'm just sat in my van here, but it is absolutely baking. I can't believe how hot it is. Right, okay, I've just seen my first fish show, which is nice. It's a nice sign, at least. Gosh, I'm sweating my tits off here, it's so hot. By tucked in out the wind, there is a real cold wind blowing across this lake, but I'm in the corner out of the wind. I don't know whether that theory works or not, but I had a walk around earlier on, and there was only a tiny fish, but there was a little fish tucked right in the shallows, sunning himself out the wind, so I took that as a sign. So I don't know if that theory works or not, but let's see what's going on. I'll tell you what though, we've got these Canada geese on here that are smashing the lake up. I don't know whether that's any good for fishing or not. Let's see what's going on. There's the big koi sunning himself. I'm losing him. I'm going to try putting a couple of floaters in, see what he does. No, I can't fish for him in there, but we'll see if we can get him feeding. Well, still nothing's happened. Interestingly, the wind's changed direction. I settled in this corner originally because it was so sheltered from the wind, and it's such a cold biting wind. I thought that it would be a safe bet, but in actual fact the wind has changed direction and it's now puffing straight into this corner now. So it's now the corner at the other end of the lake that is sheltered. So does anyone reckon that makes much of a difference? Such a cold wind. Okay, well, as you can probably see by my hood, the wind has changed directions. It's now blowing right into my corner. It's getting a lot colder here, although I'm still sat in the comfort of my van, which is right next to the swim. So all is good there. But what I did want to put out to you guys and girls, maybe, I don't know who watches, is I want to make this channel so it gives back to you people, as a way of saying thank you for watching and possibly subscribing. So what I want to do, I want everyone to like, share, subscribe, you know, do what you do, and in return I want to give stuff back to you guys. So obviously the more people who like and subscribe, the better I can afford things to be. But yeah, please give us a like and subscribe, and in return I will try to make sure people are rewarded in that way. I don't know how, I'd have to pick a name out of a hat or whatever, but it'd be nice to have one or two people come on a social with me, or you know, something like that. Let me know what you think. And what I'd like to do to start, I guess, is I've got, I don't know whether you've seen one of my previous videos of the one big show that I went to a couple of weeks ago. I got a load of freebies from JRC, I think. Was it JRC? JRC, I think. I can't remember now. So I've got like 4 sets of chod rigs. I don't know whether I would give them to just one person or 4 people. I don't know, we've got to work this out yet, but you know, let's make a start. Let's get as many likes and subscribes as we can going. I don't know how many. Let's just say 100. Let's get to 100 subscribers, and when we reach 100, then we'll have a giveaway of some little bits and pieces. And if that progresses on from there, things can get better. So please like and subscribe. Well done. Well, we're still here. They're definitely sticking their 2 fingers up at me today. It's 5 o'clock now, so I don't know how long we got. Maybe, well, I don't know what time the sun goes down now. Maybe 6 o'clock. I'd be hopeful of a bite around dusk, because that generally always seems to be prolific, doesn't it, anywhere you go. So hopefully I'll be back shortly with some good news, or showing you a fish on the bank. Okay, well, while we're here, I thought I'd show you the type of rigs that I'm using. To be fair, I've got 3 different rigs on 3 different rods, so they're not all the same actually. but I've got one margin rod with a Ronnie rig, little Ronnie rig, the same as this. So as you can see, I've got a little size 6 crank set up, spinner Ronnie style, with a little micro swivel on there. I tend to use crimps on a fluorocarbon hook link. I always put a little tungsten bead on there just to help it lay flat, I suppose. I don't know whether that's necessary. Followed by a little sleeve up this end, and a little crimped loop on the end there. Now on my margin rod, on my right hand margin rod, I'll show you in a minute, I'm using a bit of a mix. It's a mix up of hemp, tiger nuts, boilie, sweet corn with a bit of sriracha sauce all mixed up, and I'll show you that in a minute. On my left hand rod, I'm using a little choddy rig with a mellow yellow, I'd call it, 12mm pineapple pop-up with isotonic goo on it, hoping to give it that extra little bit of attraction. Not that it's done me any good right this moment, but I'll show you that spod mix in a minute. And here's my bucket of goodness. So in there we've got hemp, tiger nuts, some DNA boilie, and some trout pellets, with some sriracha sauce. That has actually been soaking for a week or two. Not that I'm using a lot of bait. I know I've got this bucket here, but I'm not using a lot of this. And where I can, I always try to use, I've got this Nash Bushwhacker. I find this piece of kit amazing, to be fair. As you can see, I've got as many sections as I need shipped out together here. But rather than smashing leads out all the time, I always try and use the pole to drop it in where I can, with a little pocket of bait. And as you can see here, we've got a whole bag full of sections. I think there's actually about 50 sections in there, which takes it to about, I think it's about 75 meters, which I'll be honest with you, is quite often difficult to handle, particularly on your own. But I find it an amazing addition to have. So here's a little one for you. I've been caught a bit short this afternoon. I've been doing bits and pieces, emails and stuff on my phone while I've been sat here, because this was all a bit off the cuff today, this afternoon session from work. And my phone's gone down to 20%. And I suddenly remembered that ages and ages ago, I bought this little USB, I don't even know what you call it, little USB output thing that just goes onto a DeWalt work battery, to try and charge my phone. So we'll see how it gets on. For all you tradies out there, it might get you out of a hole one day. I don't know. You know, fishing's not always about catching fish, is it? I mentioned earlier I've seen a kingfisher down here today and a buzzard real close. The buzzard sort of, as I was walking around the lake earlier, it sort of flew out of a tree only a few yards in front of me, quite low down, and I've just seen 2 long-tailed tits. I tried to catch them on camera, and by the time I turned my camera on, they'd cleared off. But you don't see stuff like that. I know you see buzzards quite a lot these days, but you don't see kingfishers and long-tailed tits very often. And I love my tits. I don't know whether you can see that. There's that orange koi basking in the sun again. Colin dropped some floaters on him again, but he wasn't having a bar of it a short while ago. A little update on the charger. So I'm actually really impressed with this thing. My phone was on about 23%. It's been on for, I reckon, about 25 minutes, and the phone's now standing at 52%. Which I think is incredible, actually. I think this piece here, I paid about 25 quid from Screwfix one day. Might have been on offer, I can't remember, but I just thought it was a handy thing to get hold of when I saw it at the time. And I'm glad I have. Because what would I do if my phone went flat? Going back years, we never even had a mobile phone, did we? Everything was done on a bit of paper. And now we can't live without a mobile phone. So I've dropped some floaters in amongst those branches. They are taking them. There's no way you can hook anything near that though. But how frustrating. They are right in there, and they are having it as well. No, he slipped away. And that's the reality of modern fishing. That looks like a decent tench. I don't know, I wouldn't like to say, what, £5–6 maybe? It's been had by an otter. Gutting. So, not that I caught it on camera, but I've just had a fish crash right in the margins underneath my rod tips. It must have been that close to my rod tips. I don't even know how it didn't set my alarms off from the lines going into the water. I don't know how they managed that. But let's keep the camera on the water for a few minutes and see if anything else shows up. Up, down, up. How does this gimbal work? We'll get there in a minute, hopefully. So here we have the new DJI Mini 3. We're going to try flying it for the first time. Please bear with me. I've not done this before. I had to pick this up because the blades were getting caught on the blades of grass. So here we go. It's in my hand at the moment. It's not actually flying. I think we're in the air. We've got something. We're in the air. And we're going up. We're going up. Oh, this is working. This is working beautifully. All right, let's see if we can see anything. Slow and steady is the key. I'll tell you what though, it's good quality. Can't see any fish though. The water is pretty murky. On a day that the fish would be on the surface, this would make some beautiful shots. Yep, you can call me Captain Dan now. I'm away. Oh, still getting the hang of this gimbal. Up, down, left, right, whatever. I think that could actually be a fish or two there, to be fair. It looks a bit that way to me. That was my first successful landing into my hand, but I had to turn the drone over to kill the blades, and they wouldn't stop. And there we go, up, up and away. That's it. Let's get it up a bit. Camera down on the water. Oh, yeah. Let's turn it around a bit. Let's see what we can see. Turn it into the sun. Let's see if that makes it any better. I've got to be in the snag somewhere, but I can't see anything. Pretty sure that tree has been blown over in some sort of storm. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be there like that, but I've not known this place long enough to know whether that should be. It's quite a warm day. I really thought they would be in tucks, yeah, right on the surface in the snags, but I really can't see anything there other than the geese. That was some fantastic aerial shots there. That quality of that camera is quite good actually. And here we are, we're just coming back into land. A successful flight, I would call that. Alright, okay everyone. It is 6:45, and as you can see from the camera here, the light is really starting to go now. So unless something drastic happens in the next sort of half an hour or so, I'm going to be winding up and heading on. So unless you hear from me, it's been an unsuccessful trip. Although I'll be honest with you, there's been a lot of activity in the last sort of 45 minutes, fish moving around, crashing around. So it is starting to happen. I just thought I'd better say my goodbyes before it gets too dark and you can't see me. So I hope that we do get something, but I'm not that hopeful. So if nothing else happens, I'll catch you next time. See you everyone.